Ayo! Welcome, welcome! Got some bonus content for you guys today. So I already made a video featuring my son Landon, but I have yet to make one featuring my daughter Phoebe, and that's why we have an empty chair here. We're gonna have a little guest. Phoebe is 3, so you can imagine the type of things she's drawn to. Well, today that's the kind of art I'm gonna be making because I'm going to let her decide what exactly I make. I'm gonna use these little DIY flashcards to help her decide. First, she'll get to choose what medium I use, paint, marker, or colored pencil. I kind of want to try to decide before she chooses what it is I think she'll pick. See how well I know my Phoebe. From these, I'm thinking she's gonna gravitate to the paint. Then she'll get to choose the main color for whatever I do create. Now, she loves blue and pink. Not black, that one's for me. I'm hoping wild card she picks it and then I get to do something I like. But my guess, if she's gonna pick one of these, it's gonna be the blue. Then I'm gonna let her pick an animal to feature between kitty, bunny, and unicorn. Now this one's a toss-up. I truly don't know what she'll pick out of these. She's going through a unicorn thing right now, but she's always loved bunnies. And we have a bunch of kitties. I don't know. Could go either way. Let's say unicorn. And then I'm gonna have her pick an activity for that animal to be doing. Now our options are bath, because she loves taking baths, painting, because she loves painting, or camping, because she, for whatever reason, is obsessed with the one time we went camping and never stops talking about it. And this is another one I'm not 100% sure. I think she might choose camping, but we'll see. Well, alrighty then, let's bring her out. Phoebe, you say ayo.
Ayo.
Are you ready to help me pick what I'm gonna draw today?
Yep.
Yep, okay. You're so silly, girl.
Can do.
Silly Phoebe.
Silly Phoebe.
Okay, so first, I want you to pick what I'm gonna use to make the picture. I can use colored pencils, or markers, or paint. Which one should I use?
You can use pencils.
Colored pencils, okay. Good choice.
This markers that you painted for you, you'd not use it.
Okay, I won't use those. And then you get to pick the color that I use the most. I can either use black, or pink, or blue.
You can use blue.
Blue? Okay. I thought you were going to pick that one.
I love it.
I love it. And now we're going to pick what animal I draw. So should I draw a bunny, a kitty, or a unicorn?
Unicorn.
Unicorn, okay.
Unicorn.
All right, now we get to decide what our unicorn is going to be doing. Is the unicorn going to be taking a bath, painting a picture, or going camping?
About camping.
Camping, good choice.
Before we sleep in the tent. I love it.
All right, so we're gonna have a camping unicorn where we use mostly blue, and I get to draw it with colored pencils. Those are your choices. Good job. All right, let's get into this. Now, when it comes to camping, there are so many activities kind of associated with it, so there was no way to really include them all in one drawing. So I set up basically like a comic strip where I could do several different drawings of our little unicorn doing all of the camping things. And this is why I typically sketch off camera. I spent an obscene amount of time just trying to decide my next move. The thing I was most hung up on was trying to determine what kind of style to draw this in. I mean, do I make this unicorn just cartoony because that seems to fit the vibe, or more on the anatomically correct side, which suits my personal style more? Ultimately, I ended up somewhere in between. Now, for those of you that favor my creepy art, I'm sorry. I'm erring on the side of cutesy today. Just because I want this piece to end up being something that Phoebe likes. She is, after all, my muse, my inspiration for this video. I started with a very light preliminary sketch just to get the composition laid out. I was really excited about this idea. Like, I didn't fully expect her to pick camping. Like I said, we have literally only taken her once, but man, it apparently made an impression because she talks about it all the time. So cute, but safe to say we already know what we have to do for vacation again this year. Anyways, with the preliminary sketch done, I went back through with a heavier hand to really make some concrete lines. Apparently, I was a little too heavy-handed. I kept snapping my pencil lead. In this top left box, I'm going to draw the start of this camping adventure. The unicorn has arrived at her campsite, and she's set up the tent. Now she's just securing it with some stakes. And of course, the best way to do this when you're a unicorn is just to stomp a hoof on it. As a fun little addition, I'm drawing this lantern in the tent, although it doesn't really make sense because this is going to be daylight, but whatever, we're going with it. Now for the top right box, I'm going to draw our unicorn sleeping for the night, tucked into her cozy little sleeping bag. She looks so much more peaceful than I do when I'm camping, shivering through the night. I feel like it's always cold in the wilderness, even in the summer. In the bottom left box, our unicorn is going to be doing one of the more common and popular camping activities, hiking. I gave her a little hiking trail map and a backpack with her sleeping bag strapped to it, and even a little water thermos. Gotta stay hydrated out there. Now the last and probably my favorite image, in the bottom right, we'll have the unicorn sitting by the campfire, roasting a juicy marshmallow. That's probably my favorite thing to do when camping. I feel like this one had the most complex of all of the poses. Horses look so weird laying down. But the twist on this one, she's roasting the mallow on her horn. What? All right, this is probably going to take a hot minute to line, so let's just skip ahead a little. Ah, yeah. And now it's time to color. I'm using colored pencils as Her Royal Highness Princess Phoebe has commanded me. Starting with the unicorn. Again, our main color needs to be blue. I chose teal for the unicorn's colors. I've said before that I despise blue, but for whatever reason, the one bluish hue I can appreciate is teal. In addition to that, I knew the drawings were going to be packed with so many shades of like classic blue. The unicorn needed to stand out in some way. Then I went through adding some soft blue shading to the unicorn's white body. Oh snap, I missed this whole tail. Why didn't you guys say anything? I'm just kidding. I'm sure at least a couple of you were yelling at me through the screen.
You're forgetting the tail.
Now adding a dash of pink for the inner ears and a little blushy blush. Okay, now if you're a stickler for rules, or maybe you just wanted to see me suffer, this next bit might upset you. I knew there were going to be a few large areas that needed to be saturated black. Rather than kill my wrist trying to do this all in colored pencil, I did use black marker for the base. From there, I used a gradient of black to dark blue colored pencils just to blend it out. Now, this sweet little unicorn's favorite color is, of course, going to be blue, meaning that her tent will be blue. And her sleeping bag will be blue. Yes, now you're getting it. And by this point, my wrist was full on cramping. Ugh, colored pencils are just so fatiguing. Thanks, Phoebe. No, this one's on me. Like, I didn't even have to give her the option to choose colored pencils, and I did. The last little bit of blue will be sky blue, you know, for the sky. Let's add a little sunshine. And hey, now that I've got the yellow out, might as well work at the glow of the lantern. And of course, the fire. Ah, crap, forgot the blue on her water bottle. All right, let's knock out a little gray for her hooves. And of course, all of the little metal accents throughout the drawings. I wanted to add a nice pop of contrast into these drawings where I could, since they felt overwhelmingly blue. We've got the yellow of the fire and the lantern, that's good. I chose to make the actual lantern itself red. Then make the hiking trail map a warm tan, and then just use warm browns for the backpack and the wood logs on the fire. Also added just a dash of brown to the marshmallow for that delicious toasted look. I knew there would be a lot of green, so I put it off until the end to give my wrist a little break. First, I went through with some black where these greens are going to be their darkest, like the grass inside the tent, the grass in the two nighttime images, and the shadows of the trees in the background. Then I went through the midtones with a nice foresty green. And lastly, hit the highlighted areas with a bright limey green. And now to blend it all. Am I the only one who gets an insane amount of satisfaction when you go over colored pencils with the colorless blender? Oddly, I left the unicorn horn for the very last thing to color. I just couldn't decide what would look best. White, gray, gold, silver. I ended up going with a light gray, but it doesn't end there. You'll see what I do later. First, I made the terrifying decision to darken the entire upper right drawing to really convey that it was nighttime. It worked out, and I'm glad I did it, but man, that was risky. Like, I could have just scribbled all over something gray and turned it into something crappy. I also opted to tweak the lighting of the bottom right image because that one's nighttime too. With that fire glowing, I wanted to add a little yellow light cast onto the unicorn and then added a whole lot of extra darkness to her rump. All right, now that everything's looking the way I want it, I simply cannot resist. It's juicy highlight time. And with that, our blue camping unicorn made using colored pencils is done. You can see I made the horn kind of sparkly after all. So I realized I forgot to give the fire picture some stars in the night sky, so I did that after. Here's what it looks like now. But here, even when it was without, I still loved this page. It gives me so much camping nostalgia, and it was super fun to step into the cutesy stuff. I really think Phoebe's gonna like it, but why speculate? We've got her here. Let's bring her back and show her. Phoebe, come here. I'm all done. You gotta look.
One eternity later.
What do you think? Do you like it?
Yep.
You like it? Yay! High five. Okay, everybody. Well, let's thank Phoebe for helping us make some decisions on what we made today. I had so much fun with you.
Yep.
And until next time, Phoebe, can you say goodbye?
Goodbye.
Goodbye.